welcome the actors up on stage. All right, the important thing that I forgot to do last night. Excellent. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Andrew Roblyer. I am a Houston-based director and producer and storyteller, and I am so excited to be here at Kansas City Fringe. Thank you so much for coming tonight to Director's Cut. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the show in a moment, but we've got some business we need to take care of at the top. And first and foremost, I would like to introduce you, or rather let them introduce themselves to you, to the two wonderful actors who have volunteered to show up tonight having no idea what they're about to do. So we're going to start over here.
Hello, I'm Jessica Johnson. I am a film and theater performer based in Omaha, Nebraska. And my pronouns are she, her, her.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jerry Tracy. 4 years ago, I returned to my home state of Missouri after living for 47 years in Hawaii, and I'm still in culture shock.
Glad to have you here, Jerry. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So like I just mentioned, the actors have no idea what scene they're about to do, and that's because I need your help to pick the scene that they are going to work on tonight with me live in front of your eyes. So I have 3 prepared pieces of text here that are pulled from public domain text, so classical text, as well as some copyright-free modern texts, because we want to respect copyright. So to help you in your decision, I am going to give you 3 descriptive words about each one of these 3 text options, and then I'm going to ask you as an audience to vote on which one you want to see by applause, all right? So please listen carefully. Option 1, the 3 words to describe it are authority, revelation, and denial. Option 2, power, service, and memory. And option 3, control, negotiation, and coexistence. All right, so with that in mind, by sound of applause, who would like to see scene number 1? All right, excellent. And what about scene number 2? Okay, a little less than scene number 1, all right. And what about scene number 3? Okay, it's between 1 and 3, so I'm going to ask those of you that voted for scene 2, you got to pick a side, all right? We're going to vote again for scene number 1. That's where we're going. And scene number 3. Actually, I think scene number 3 just edged you out. And I'm excited about that because I think this is a pretty hilarious scene. It is called Over My Dead Wi-Fi. All right, so I am going to give you the part of Harold and you the part of Tessa. Awesome. And I'm going to invite the actors to take a moment off stage to read over the scene while you and I chat a little bit about Director's Cut, and I give you a little bit more explanation about why this show. So I fell in love with theater at the age of 6 as an actor. For my entire childhood, everything revolved around my love of performing. I used to get this ache in my soul if it had been too long since I had been on stage. But then in college, I fell in love with theater all over again, this time from the perspective of a director. Not because I wanted control, but because I realized that I was really deeply passionate about being able to support every person that was part of creating something beautiful in a production. And when I fall in love with something, my nerdy type A brain wants to learn everything I can, which is, hold on just a second. No, it's okay. All right, sorry about that. When I fall in love with things, my nerdy type A brain loves to learn everything about it I can, and that's when I learned that there's no real path for directors in the American theater. There's no real training, no map. Most directors learn to direct by doing it and hoping that we don't break something or someone along the way. Because here's the thing, a director sets the emotional tone of a production. In the corporate world, studies show that your manager is the #1 factor in whether people thrive or burn out in the workplace. It's no different in theater. The director is the culture setter, the emotional thermostat, the person who decides what matters. But most directors, especially in what I would call upstream theater or community and educational theater spaces, are just thrown in At a low estimate, there are 30,000 directors working in those spaces each year with no training, no mentors, and no support, just vibes. And the weight that is placed on our shoulders is immense. We're told that our vision is what makes a show sink or swim. And on top of that, there's the implicit understanding that we, in those upstream spaces, are training the next generation of artists who will eventually move downstream to Broadway and professional spaces. Because nobody starts there. Nobody starts downstream. They all start upstream. And then you wonder why theater spaces can be tense, toxic, or unclear. It's not because directors don't care, it's because the system never taught them how. That's why I built Deconstructing Directing, which is the company that brings you this show tonight. It is a completely free, 100% online resource library for directors. It explores topics that most directors I know have never had a chance to talk to anyone about. Facilitation skills, imposter syndrome, power dynamics, regulating our own emotions, and letting go of a fear-based, authority-driven model of directing that has held our field hostage for too long. It's a resource unlike anything else in existence for directors, and you can check it out yourself at the QR code that I will give you at the end of today's show. Director's Cut, the show you're here to see today, is my attempt to put at least some of that work into a performance. I know the marketing makes this feel like a cool, edgy experiment, and it is, but it's also more than that. It's a window into something theater rarely shows: how directing actually works. And it's a love letter to every director who's ever been told to just figure it out. So tonight, I'm going to be building a scene from scratch with the help of these wonderful actors right in front of you. No prep, no second chances. You'll see me stumble, chase moments, fight the clock, and make hard choices. Not because I think I have the answers, but because I believe that directing deserves to be visible, valued, shared. Because when we support directors, when we give them the tools and space to grow, we create better theater. Safer rooms, stronger stories, braver choices, and ultimately, that benefits all of us. So, are you excited to see the show tonight? Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to invite the actors to come on back up stage. And as they come back up on stage, we are going to start our process tonight with something that we would normally call a table read. Now, you see, there is no table up here on stage, so the actors are going to do this table read on their feet. But the point of a table read is to give the actors and the director the opportunity to hear the text out loud for the first time. You'll see that some of the actors may start making choices, they may start acting the script, but they may also just read along to get the words out of their mouths so that we can hear them and get a sense for how the scene is going to play. After that, we're going to move on to something else that we call table work, which, again, no table. So we're going to do on our footwork, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we do as directors to help prepare artists for the rehearsal process. And then we're going to dive right into it. So with that, I present the table read on its feet of Over My Dead Wifi.
I changed the Wi-Fi password
Okay. Why?
because you've been using it against me.
How does one weaponize Wi-Fi?
You put the thermostat on your phone. The thermostat, Tessa. I was cold in my own house.
You were wearing a fleece robe, wool socks, and a blanket cape.
I was nesting like a falcon.
You were sweating through your chair.
Don't change the subject. You abuse the internet.
By lowering the heat?
Among other things, you stream those crime shows late at night. I hear the screams. I think I'm being robbed. I prepare emotionally.
Emotionally?
I draft goodbyes in my head. To you, to my golf clubs.
They're literally British people in sweaters solving mysteries in broad daylight.
Also, you ordered kale chips.
That is not an abuse of the internet.
To this household, it is.
You're just mad because I wouldn't watch that World War II documentary narrated by Morgan Freeman doing a British accent.
It was educational and he tried very hard.
He sounded like Downton Abbey fell down a well.
I won't be insulted in my own house
You invited me here.
for a visit, not a reign of digital terror.
Okay, let's say I concede the Wi-Fi has been misused.
You're conceding?
Hypothetically. What would it take to get the password?
Respect, decorum, a written apology to the thermostat.
The thermostat.
It's been through a lot.
Anything else?
An understanding that in this house, the History Channel comes before TikTok.
I don't even use TikTok.
That I'm being preemptively respected.
Fine. But if I agree, I want concessions.
This isn't a hostage negotiation.
Isn't it?
What do you want?
You stop referring to Amazon as the Zon.
But it sounds cool.
It sounds like you're trying to buy car parts from a Marvel villain.
Fine. Anything else?
You stop asking the smart speaker what the stock market is doing every 10 minutes?
But I need to know.
You bought one share of Apple in 2006 and you call yourself a mogul.
It's split.
You get one stock update per day.
You're ruthless. Like that lawyer you dated.
He was a barista.
Well, he argued like a lawyer.
Is the Wi-Fi password Father Knows Best again?
It was. Now it's Try Me 2024.
You know you're not running for anything, right?
I'm running this household,
You're lucky I love you.
and you're lucky I don't charge you rent.
Hey, I brought groceries.
Groceries aren't rent, they're tribute.
If I reboot the router, can I overthrow you?
That would be an act of war.
Then I demand Wi-Fi peace talks.
Fine, but I want diplomatic immunity from thermostat adjustments.
Deal.
And I want kale chips banned.
That's non-negotiable.
Then no Wi-Fi.
Fine. I'll hotspot from my phone.
Wait, what?
End scene. Give them a round of applause. Excellent. All right, we've got a great start already. So, when we think about table work, one of my jobs as a director is to think about questions that are going to help the actors understand their characters more fully. A lot of times when I approach table work with actors, I think about the actors as being kind of the director of their character, right? Or the expert of their character. My job as a director is to kind of be the audience surrogate and also be the person that kind of stands back and looks at the whole picture. So while it's definitely the case that there are sometimes directors who come in and tell actors, this is exactly who your character is and who they must be in this version of the show that I am directing, that is not how I prefer to work. Instead, I'm going to ask the actors some questions. Now, there are some of these answers that may be in the text that we just read, but a lot of them are not going to be in the text that we just read, right? They're going to be background questions about your relationship, about who you are as a person, where we are, when we are, things like that. And so we're going to talk about all of this together, and then we're going to start working through the scene in what's called beats, which is when we're going to kind of break down the portions of the scene and really like get into the nitty-gritty of how the dynamics between these characters play out. So we're going to start with some questions. So first of all, what do you two understand your character's relationship to be?
Father and daughter.
Father and daughter. Okay, I think does that align with you, Jay? Okay.
Yes, I'll take that.
Great. Do you have a different perspective? Because we can totally talk about something else.
No, that makes sense to me.
Okay, great. So father and daughter. So where's, like, who else is in the family? Is it just father and daughter at this point? Like, is daughter an only child?
I think the mother must be out of the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like she's passed.
Okay.
She's passed
Yeah.
away.
All right, so mom's passed away. All right. So how recently did that happen?
Long enough to get over it. so
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say.
At
Yeah.
least 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So at least 5 years.
Yeah.
So are you an only child, do you think, or do you have siblings?
I think I have siblings, but
Okay.
I don't think they're very involved.
Great. So where do you
They don't
fall in
like
the
you.
They
sibling
don't like
lineup?
you. I think probably the oldest.
I think that's probably fair. I think that the text bears out the vibe of an eldest child. All right, excellent. So we know a little bit more about your relationship, about other people in the family, right?
Yeah.
So why did you invite her to stay?
I was lonely.
Okay, you were lonely. Why did you accept the invitation to stay?
Because he invited me.
Okay.
My dad.
How far away do you live? Like, is this a like a far trip? Are you traveling across the country to stay with him? Are you
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I think I'm coming in.
It was
for-
a major thing
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
major thing? So how long have you been here for at this point? Do you think?
Oh, I'm gonna say probably at least a week.
At least a week.
At
And how
least.
long are you planning to stay?
I feel like it's probably like a month-long visit.
Okay. All right. So weeks
So
so
maybe
far,
a week or two.
and like several weeks to go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's really helpful, right? Because when we
Right.
think about the context of this disagreement, right, we're
Yeah.
not only thinking about what's happened in the week up to this point, but we're thinking about the impact that this disagreement is going to have on the rest of your
Yeah,
time together.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Excellent. All right. So the next question that comes to mind for me is, how often do the two of you argue or banter like this?
I think it's pretty common.
I
Pretty
think so,
common,
too.
right? So,
Yeah.
so is this something you both enjoy? Is it something that maybe one of you enjoys more than the other? What do you think?
Well, I think it's something that happened before when she was growing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a part of the family dynamic.
Okay.
The bantering.
Excellent, excellent,
And,
excellent.
I don't know if you could say we enjoy it, but
Okay.
it's a
It's common.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. I think that'll give us some fun material to play with here in just a minute.
Yep.
A couple of other things come to mind. So, like, what time of day is it right now? Do we think? Like, is this conversation happening in the morning? Is it happening in the afternoon, the evening?
I sort of thought of it as the evening.
Yeah, it would be like late, early afternoon, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like or late afternoon, early evening.
Late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do we think this conversation's taking place in the house? Is it the living room, or is it the kitchen, your bedroom?
I think it's the living room.
Living room? Great.
Yeah.
That's going to be very easy to envision.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the moment before. So this is one of the tools that we use not only as actors but as directors as well to help think about and build what I call specificity. And specificity, this is all stuff, by the way, that like if you weren't watching us work as an audience, if you just saw the final results of the scene, you would never know that all of these conversations happened, right? Like you wouldn't necessarily know any of these details. But these are things that are really important for the actors to understand and for me as a director to understand so that we can make choices about how the scene is played out based on this background. And even though you may not know all of these choices, you'll be able to tell the difference when we get to the final version of the scene. You'll be able to see elements of what we've talked about coming out in their delivery and in the structure of the scene. So be looking for that when we come back to it. All right, so the moment before, Harold walks into the room, it seems like, and says, I changed the Wi-Fi password. So what's been happening in the few moments before this? What have you been doing in the living room when your dad walks in?
That's interesting because I actually thought that I walked in.
Oh, okay,
I did
great.
too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Okay.
That
So where are you
Tessa walked
coming
in
from
and
then?
I think I'm coming from outside. I think I was running errands or like out doing something.
Love it.
And then I come home and that's the first thing he says to me.
Okay,
Yeah, so
that's
I
a
hear-
fun.
I hear her drive up.
Yeah, yeah.
and so I'm steeling myself, figuring out how I'm going to break this.
Okay, I love that. All right. All right, so one of the things that I think about when we have conversations like this is I think about the ways that we're going to stage that, right? Tonight, because we're doing this live, I don't have the ability to do with the sound design, but I'm immediately thinking about the sound of the car pulling up in the driveway, the door slamming, right, as she closes the door, the keys in the lock, right? All of that could be happening while we watch him kind of steel himself for that. So tonight, we're going to play with that, and I'll just verbalize those sound cues for us, okay? Because I think that's going to give you a lot of fun stuff to play with, like you're talking about just now. All right, excellent. All right, excellent. I think that's a good enough start. Are there any questions that you have or any details about your character that or about the other character that you're still wondering about? All right, excellent. Well then, let's start with some staging. So one of the things that we think about as directors is we think about the visual layout of the space. So obviously we have a blank stage. We have a couple of kind of fake furniture, or not fake furniture, it's real furniture, but it's not going to be like an actual couch or something necessarily. So do you think, let's see here. I'm actually going to make a choice on this. I think we're going to put you facing the way she comes in. So we'll imagine that the TV is here. Does that work?
Okay.
And then for now, we'll just imagine, instead of a couch, we'll give ourselves 2 chairs in the living room. Does that work for you, Jessica?
Yeah.
All right. And actually, you know what? Just because I want to give you a back to lean against, I'm going to give you my chair.
Oh.
All right. So it's like Joey and Chandler's apartment in Friends, right?
That's
2
right.
chairs facing the TV. All right. Excellent.
Wonderful.
All right, so we're going to start at the top of the scene, and I'm going to do exactly what we just talked about. I'm going to describe these sound effects for you, and as I do, give yourself permission to like have that internal dialogue of, okay, I got to get ready, I got to be strong, all right? I got to lay down the law, all right? And then if you want to grab my bag back there so that you have something to carry in with you, that'll give you a little bit of business. So another thing that we think about as directors is the tools that we need to give the actors, right? Sometimes the actors tell us what they need, but sometimes we can anticipate those needs. So I know that like if she's coming in from errands, she probably has a purse or a bag or something like that, and giving her something to do as she comes in is going to give the scene a sense of lived-in quality, right? A sense that this is actually their home. All right, excellent. So we are going to start with the beginning of the scene, and we will go until don't change until you were sweating in your chairs. The first handful of lines, because we kind of switch the subject there, and that's usually what we think of as a beat change.
Don't change the subject, you abuse the internet.
Yeah, we're going to stop right before that line this time around. All right. So after you were sweating through your chair,
okay.
We'll pause right there. All right, so Harold, go ahead and have a seat in your chair.
I was going to pace.
Oh, pace, that's fine. Go for it. Pace away. All right, so you're pacing and you hear the car pulling up in the driveway, and it's parked, and the engine turns off. There's the slam of the door, and then the jingle of the keys. Oh, hold on. Jingle of the keys in the lock, and she comes in.
I changed the Wi-Fi password.
Cool, I'm actually going to pause this right here because I realized something interesting. The text doesn't give us a hello.
Right.
Which means that we need to justify that.
Right.
So, I wonder what it would look like. What is a facial expression that you might make that lets her know I need to have a conversation with you? Like something serious. Yeah, so as she walks in, can you give her that facial expression so that way she can immediately kind of have that response and have that reaction of like, okay, like I'm gonna wait, and then you can start that line. So we'll just do it from her entrance, please. Keys in the lock, door opens. Excellent, I love the gesture, that's great.
I changed the Wi-Fi password.
Okay. Why?
Because you've been using it against me.
How does one weaponize Wi-Fi?
You put the thermostat on your phone. The thermostat, Tessa. I was cold in my own house.
You were wearing a fleece robe, wool socks, and a blanket cape.
I was nesting like a falcon.
You were sweating through your chair.
All right, let's pause there. So, when he says, I changed the Wi-Fi password, what runs through your head? Like, other than the actual text, like, what's the thought that runs through Tessa's head when he says that?
I feel like it's like, oh, okay, here we go again.
Okay, great. And then, when he's, because you ask this question, this kind of incredulous question of like, oh my God, like what? How does one weaponize Wi-Fi?
Right.
And then he brings up the thermostat of all things, right? Are you expecting that, do you think?
No.
Great. So that reaction right there, I think that you have very naturally, I think would be great to like bring into Tessa's reaction.
Okay.
I think there is nothing wrong with laughing at your father. Here,
Okay.
right? And that then gives Jerry something to play off of, right? If she's laughing at you, she's not taking you seriously, right? So then your response can play off of that reaction a
Okay.
little bit
I'm
more.
used to it. She never did.
Oh, great.
I
Excellent.
never get any respect.
Excellent.
Because
Excellent.
you're always doing things like changing the Wi-Fi password.
That is a perfect reaction. The other word, the other phrase that comes to mind is like fleece robe, wool socks, pretty normal. Blanket cape?
Blanket cake. Yeah.
That's weird to me. I don't know about to Tessa, but I feel like you could maybe hit blanket cape a
Okay.
little differently
Okay.
to let us see that. And the delivery on Falcon is great. Okay, cool. Can we try this section one more time?
Yeah.
Let me get my keys out so I can do a jingle sound effect.
I'm not gonna go up all this.
That's fine, no worries. All right, here we go. We got door keys in the door. Door opens.
I changed the Wi-Fi password.
Okay. Why?
Because you've been using it against me.
How does one weaponize Wi-Fi?
You put the thermostat on your phone. The thermostat? Tessa, I was cold in my own house.
You were wearing a fleece robe, wool socks, and a blanket cape.
Well, I was nesting like a falcon.
You were sweating through your chair.
That's great. I love that. I love you matching his delivery with "I was nesting like a falcon and you were sweating through your chair." I thought that was excellent. Also, I loved the delivery, Jerry, of the na kind of in your voice. I changed the Wi-Fi. That was lovely. I think keeping that is a great choice. All right, excellent. I feel okay with that section. Do y'all feel
Yeah.
okay about it? Great.
Yeah.
All right, one of the things that is important to think about, especially as we start to try and change the way that we think about directing and the way that we think about training of directors, is that oftentimes as directors, we focus on problems. We focus on the things that need to be solved. And so that means that we tend to focus on the negative comments or the critical comments that we give actors and people that we're working with, rather than affirming the things that are working and affirming the things that are effective. So that's something that I've had to learn to do over the 20 years that I've been directing.
Amen.
All right, so we're going to start with this next section. So now we say don't change the subject. We're going to go from there until to this household it is.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Through that line?
Yep.
Through that line.
Okay.
All right, so when you're ready with don't change the subject.
Don't change the subject. You abuse the internet.
By lowering the heat.
Among other things, you stream those crime shows late at night. I hear the screams. I think I'm being robbed. I prepare emotionally.
Emotionally?
I draft goodbyes in my head. Goodbye. To you, to my golf clubs.
They're literally
to the
British
train.
people in sweaters solving mysteries in broad daylight.
Also, you ordered kale chips.
That is not an abuse of Wi-Fi.
To this household, it is.
Great. All right. So a few questions that pop into my head watching you do this section. The first is, how serious? Like, do you actually lay there at night, say, like drafting goodbyes in your head? Is that an honest thing, or are you being dramatic? Do you think?
Well, I am definitely being dramatic, but
Yeah.
I think there's a whiff of truth to it.
Great. Yeah, I think that's great. One of the things about comedy that I think is so valuable is like remembering that just because it's funny doesn't mean it's not also true.
Right.
Right? So leaning into the truth of that, yes, you're saying it in a dramatic way, but like, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. what is it about your golf clubs that is so important to you?
Well, since my wife died, they're my closest companion. Although I'm a terrible golfer.
Great, I love that. So I would love to hear that come out when you say to my golf clubs, like you have literally put your golf clubs in the same sentence as your daughter in terms of level of importance, right?
Yeah.
So let us feel from you how equally important they are in your heart, right? And then that gives you a reaction, right? That gives you a room to be like,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Cool. Kale chips, delivery, great. I think this is a really solid section. I think for the sake of time, we're going to move on, if that's okay, and we'll come back to this when we run it a little bit.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to pick up again with Tessa's line, "You're just mad because I won't watch that World War II documentary."
Yeah.
And we're going to go through, that's a very short beat, so let's go through 2 beats.
Okay.
Go through, hypothetically, it's the middle of Tessa's line.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tessa, when you're ready, you're just.
Wait,
I-
let me
Oh,
see
sorry.
what it is.
Page 2,
Yeah.
right after your line, "You're conceding."
You're competing.
Top of page 2.
Show me where it
You're
is.
good.
Right. So.
Oh,
Right there.
There you go.
so after she says,
Hypothetically, we'll pause right there.
okay.
All right. So Tessa, let's start with "You're just mad."
I have the impulse to get up.
Absolutely. In fact, I was thinking, I was going to ask you why you're just sitting there and taking this, right? Especially if you're like staying in the house.
Right.
Do
Right.
you have your water bottle?
I do.
Because what I'm wondering
I was
is,
gonna get up and put my bag
oh,
away.
perfect. Put your bag away. I was also going to say, like, we could also have you get a drink or
Yeah.
something like that from the kitchen.
You want to leave it there?
If
then?
she gets up,
Yeah.
the conversation can continue, even if she
Yeah.
like leaves the room,
Right,
right?
of
You
course,
can be
yeah.
yelling across the house.
Right.
That's we all do that, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's start with Tessa.
Okay. You're just mad because I wouldn't watch that World War II documentary narrated by Morgan Freeman doing a British accent?
It was educational, and he tried very hard.
He sounded like Down Navy fell down a well.
I won't be insulted in my own house, my own living room,
You invited me here.
for a visit, not for a reign of terror, of digital terror.
Okay. Let's say I concede that the Wi-Fi has been misused.
You're conceding.
Hypothetically.
Okay, cool. So that cross I think is lovely. So one of the things that I pay attention to a lot directorially is I think about status of characters. So in a scene, we often think about which characters have the status. So when dad walks in and when daughter walks in, Tessa walks in and dad is sitting there in the chair already, he's claiming the high status of the scene, right? He's kind of putting her on notice. And then her choice to get up and move reclaims some status for herself, right? That she can get up and do what she wants to do. She doesn't have to stay put. And then dad standing up gives us an opportunity. Dad's trying to kind of reclaim that status, stand back up so that he has the power in the scene. I would love to see you have this very regal, kind of with those arms there, like come and sit. I would love to see you when you say, like, let's say I concede, come over, sit down, reclaim that status.
Okay.
All right, let's say I concede, right? While dad's still standing, and then let's
Okay.
see what dad does with that.
Okay.
When you say Morgan Freeman doing a British accent,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear, before you tell us what it is, I would love to hear in your delivery of that how you felt about it,
Okay.
right? So that then when you say it, when you give us the language for it, we already know what's coming, but we
Okay.
don't expect it to be worded the way that you word it, which is
Okay.
good. All right, so let's start again with "You're just mad."
Okay. You're just dead. You're just mad because I wouldn't watch that World War II documentary narrated by Morgan Freeman doing a British accent.
It was educational, and he tried very hard.
He sounded like Down Navy fell down a well.
I won't be insulted in my own living room,
You invited me here.
for a visit, not for a reign of digital terror.
Okay. let's say I concede that the Wi-Fi has been misused.
You're conceding.
Hypothetically.
Great. All right, so we're going to keep going from there through. Let's go through find anything else. Harold's line near the bottom of the page.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Oh, great. Okay.
All right, so we'll start with what would it take to get the password?
What would it take to get the password?
Respect, decorum, a written apology to the thermostat.
The thermostat?
It's been through a lot.
Anything else?
An understanding that this is my house, that in this house, I'm sorry,
You're good.
an understanding that in this house, the History Channel comes before TikTok.
I don't even use TikTok.
Oh, that I'm being preemptively respected.
Fine. But if I agree, I want concessions.
This isn't a hostage negotiation.
Isn't it?
What do you want?
You stop referring to Amazon as the Zon.
But it sounds cool.
Sounds like you're trying to buy car parts from a Marvel villain.
Fine. Anything else?
All right, let's pause there. Great. So, when Dad says respect is the first thing that he wants, what's the first thought that you think pops into Tessa's head?
I think she just rolls her eyes.
Yeah, give me a nice big eye roll then. Like,
Okay.
yeah. And then when she rolls her eyes, let that be the thing that drives you to add decorum,
Okay.
right? Because you're saying respect, she rolls her eyes, and you're like, no, I need decorum, right, from you. And then a written apology to thermostat, great, it's been through a lot. When you say it's been through a lot, right, how much of this is you just needling her in this moment?
I think a lot, but I can really identify because every house I go into is too cold.
Great.
And yet I dare not go to the. In fact, we're rehearsing Macbeth. It's 69 degrees in there, but none of us can touch the thermostat.
Yeah.
So in a house, though, that line means to me it's been through a lot, but somebody turns it up, somebody turns it down, somebody turns it up, somebody turns it down.
Great, so let's use that motion.
Yeah.
It's been through a lot, right? Like give me the like up and down, some sort of gesture,
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. When he says the History Channel comes before TikTok, I don't even use TikTok. Right now that I think the choice I'm hearing is like kind of like this exasperation.
Right.
I wonder if it's more of I wonder what it would look like if it's or sound like if it's more of a like, okay, I've no skin off my nose,
Okay.
right? Like just kind of like, yeah, all right, fine.
Okay.
Like that's your only demand, like no problem.
Okay.
I love the turn of the chair on concessions. I love you turning to her. That's great. I don't want to lose Marvel villain.
Okay.
So lean into that just a little bit.
Okay.
I wonder in the moment if you have already had the thought that it sounds like a Marvel villain, or if in this moment you're like, if you're having to come up with that analogy in the moment. So play with that either way.
Okay.
All right, great. Let's try that one more time from what would it take to get the password?
Okay. What would it take to get the password?
Respect, decorum, a written apology to the thermostat.
The thermostat?
It's been through a lot.
Anything else?
An understanding that in this house, the History Channel comes before TikTok.
I don't even use TikTok.
Then I'm being preemptively respected.
Fine. If I agree, I want concessions.
This isn't a hostage negotiation.
Isn't it?
What do you want?
You stop referring to Amazon as the Zon.
But it sounds cool.
Sounds like you're trying to buy car parts from a Marvel villain.
Fine. Anything else?
Keep going.
Yeah, we'll stop there. Thank you. Sorry, I was just so intrigued. All right, excellent. So we're gonna pick up from Tessa's line there. You stopped asking the smart speaker, and we'll go through Harold's line. I'm running this household on the next page. When you're ready.
Yep. You stop asking the smart speaker what the stock market is doing every 10 minutes.
But I need to know.
You bought 1 share of Apple in 2006 and call yourself a mogul.
It's split.
You get 1 stock update per day.
You're ruthless. Like that lawyer you dated.
He was a barista.
But he argued like a lawyer.
Is the Wi-Fi password Father Knows Best again?
It was. Now it's Try Me 2024.
You know you're not running for anything, right?
I'm running for this household.
Cool.
I'm running this household.
Cool. Let's pause there for just a second. So, how annoying to you on a scale from 1 to 10 is the stock market thing that he does?
Oh, I feel like as an actor I should probably say a 10 because you're supposed to have like high stakes.
What do you
but
think?
I'm 5.
Okay,
I
great.
think it's just.
So, my question then is, why is this the thing that pops into her head? Of the concessions she's asking for, of the things that she's asking for in return. Why this? What do you think?
I think. I don't know.
It's probably annoying. Too.
Yeah, I think it's annoying, but I also think it's like. I think it's probably just the first thing she thinks of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's what?
So I
First
wonder.
thing she thinks of.
I
Oh, yeah.
wonder what happens then, because I don't know about what's in this house, but like we have a smart speaker in our living room. So I wonder if in this moment, right, when he asks anything else, I wonder if you have to like almost like look around the room to like
Okay.
figure out, oh, that, right?
Okay.
I want that.
Okay.
Right? Because like
Yeah.
I get the impression that from you it's more, this is more of a play, right? Like you're
right.
playing with him a little bit. You're
Right.
like, okay, all right, I'm gonna be a hard,
Right.
I'm drive a hard bargain.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens if you spot the smart speaker. We'll put it over here so that we're facing down stage.
Okay.
And let that drive the choice there.
Where is it? Right here.
Yeah, kind of down right. And then that you get 1 stock update per day. I think let's really hit the word 1 and treat it like it's a contract, right? Like you're saying Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Exactly.
I
It's a
see.
term of the agreement.
Okay.
All right.
It seems funny to me that is the Wi-Fi password Father Knows Best
Again. Yes.
and then it says it was. It doesn't seem to.
We'll come to that in just a second. I have a
Okay.
question about that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but before that, I want to talk about this boyfriend.
All right.
Or the lawyer / barista.
Right.
So, how do we feel about the lawyer?
The lawyer that was the barista.
Yes.
I
Is this a recent boyfriend or a long time ago boyfriend, first of all?
think, you know what, I think it's funny if it was a long time ago
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't really a very big deal.
Yeah.
For some reason it made like a big impression on Dad, but for Tessa it was like, who?
Love that. I think that is such a fun choice. So that gives you so much more to react to when he brings that up out of nowhere.
Right.
Right? Like literally out of nowhere, 10 years later.
Right.
Right? He brings up the lawyer. And then he says, but he argued like a lawyer. All right, so then we get to this question about the Wi-Fi password, right?
Right.
So there's clearly been some sort of like back and forth about the Wi-Fi at some point prior to this. This is not the first time
Right.
that there's been disagreement about the Wi-Fi.
Right.
So this idea of Father Knows Best again, like you're changing the subject there. I think that's important,
Yeah.
right? That he's saying, but he argued like a lawyer, and then you are not carrying on with that.
Right.
You're not giving that the time of day. That's an important thing. I would love to see, Jerry, like that Try Me 2024. Give me something that to you feels like a tough guy gesture, right? Like Try Me 2024,
Yeah, okay.
you know, something that like really is like, that's why you did it, because you're like, no, try me. Great, cool, let's try that one more time. We're almost there, and then we're gonna run the scene. You stopped asking, let's go from Harold's line, fine, anything else?
Fine. Anything else?
You stop asking the smart speaker. You stop asking the smart speaker what the stock market is doing every 10 minutes.
But I need to know.
You bought 1 share of Apple in 2006 and call yourself a mogul.
It's split.
You get 1 stock update per day.
You're ruthless. Haha, like that lawyer you used to date.
No, he was a barista.
Well, he argued like a lawyer.
Is the Wi-Fi password Father Knows Best again?
It was. Now it's Try Me 2024.
I have the impulse to get up again.
Good, you go
You
for
know
it.
you're not running for anything, right?
I'm running this household.
Cool, and that actually puts a yes, perfect. I love that instinct. I love that impulse. All right, so let's pick it up. We're gonna run it from there to the end of the scene. You're lucky I love you, just from right where you picked up. And yeah, is it okay, Jerry, if she puts her hands on your shoulders?
Of course.
Is it okay if
I always ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it okay if I give you like a little peck on the back of the head?
sure.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, you're lucky I love you.
You're lucky I love you.
And you're lucky I don't charge you rent.
Hey, I brought groceries.
Groceries aren't rent, they're tribute.
If I reroute the router, if I reboot the router, can I overthrow you?
That would be an act of war.
Huh. Then I demand peace talks.
Fine, but I want diplomatic immunity from thermostat adjustments.
Yeah.
And I want kale chips banned.
It's non-negotiable.
Yes, love that choice.
There's no Wi-Fi.
Fine, I'll hotspot from my phone.
Wait, what?
Excellent. I have no notes. That was excellent. All right, are we ready to start the scene at the top?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Any last questions from you two before we get going? All right, wonderful. All
Good
right.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. The other scenes that I had picked would have also been great, but this was the one I was hoping y'all would pick. All right. So, you are pacing, and we hear in the distance the car pull up. We hear the door shut. We hear the jingle of the keys in the lock, and the front door opens.
I changed the Wi-Fi password
Okay. Why?
because you've been using it against me.
How does one weaponize Wi-Fi?
You put the thermostat on your phone. The thermostat? Tessa, I was cold in my own house.
You were wearing a fleece robe, wool socks, and a blanket cape.
I was nested like a falcon.
You were sweating through your chair.
Don't change the subject. You abuse the internet.
By lowering the heat?
Among other things, you stream those crime shows late at night. I hear the screams. I think I'm being robbed. I prepare emotionally.
Emotionally?
I draft goodbyes in my head to you, to my golf clubs.
They're literally British people in sweaters solving mysteries in broad daylight.
Also, you ordered kale chips.
That's not an abuse of Wi-Fi.
To this household, it is.
Oh, you're just mad because I wouldn't watch that World War II documentary narrated by Morgan Freeman doing a British accent.
It was educational. And he tried very hard.
It sounded like Downton Abbey fell down a well.
I won't be insulted in my own living room.
You invited me here.
For a visit, not for a reign of digital terror.
Okay. Let's say that I concede that the Wi-Fi has been misused.
Ooh, you're conceding?
Hypothetically. What would it take to get the password?
Respect. Decorum.
Uh-huh.
A written apology to the thermostat.
The thermostat?
It's been through a lot.
Anything else?
An understanding that in this house, the History Channel comes before TikTok.
I don't even use TikTok.
Then I'm being preemptively respected.
Fine. But if I agree, I want concessions.
This isn't a hostage negotiation.
Isn't it?
What do you want?
You stop referring to Amazon as the Zon.
But that sounds cool.
Sounds like you're trying to buy car parts from a Marvel villain.
Fine. Anything else?
You stop asking the smart speaker what the stock market is doing every 10 minutes.
But I need to know.
You bought one share of Apple in 2006 and call yourself a mogul.
It's split.
You get one stock update per day.
You're ruthless. Like that lawyer you dated.
No, he was a barista.
Oh, well, he argued like a lawyer.
Is the Wi-Fi password Father Knows Best again?
It was. Now it's Try Me 2024.
You know you're not running for anything, right?
I'm running this household.
Yeah, you're lucky I love you.
And you're lucky I don't charge you rent.
Hey, I brought groceries.
Groceries aren't rent, they're tribute.
If I reboot the router, can I overthrow you?
That would be an act of war.
Then I demand Wi-Fi peace talks.
Fine, but I want diplomatic immunity from thermostat adjustments.
Deal.
And I want kale chips banned.
It's non-negotiable.
Then no Wi-Fi.
Fine, I'll hotspot from my phone.
Wait, what?
And C, let's give them a big round of applause. Come on up, take a bow. Hello there. Thank you so much for watching Director's Cut. I hope you enjoyed it. And if this glimpse into the directing process sparked something for you, whether you're a theater maker, educator, or just someone who loves live performance, there is so much more where this came from, because this isn't just a show, it's part of a much bigger movement that is rethinking what it means to direct theater and how we train, support, and value directors, especially in schools and community theaters, but throughout the industry. You can explore a growing library of free resources at deconstructingdirecting.com, designed especially for directors in those upstream spaces like schools and community theaters, both for themselves and to use as part of their directing curriculum. 100% free. And if you're part of a theater, school, or university that wants to rethink how you train directors, I also offer consulting, custom workshops, and can bring Director's Cut to you, performed with your actors for your audiences. We can package that with workshops on directing, acting, or producing, whatever fits your needs. And if you believe in this kind of work and want to help keep it going, consider supporting Deconstructing Directing on Patreon. Even a few bucks a month makes a real difference. Links to everything I just mentioned are below in the description. Thank you again for being here. I want to transform our field for the better, but I can't do it alone. So until we see each other again, I challenge us all to be recklessly kind.